Brushes and Q-tips and toothpicks? Oh my! I've got the solution for some of your gluing blues on this Feature Friday segment of Ron's Trains and Things right now. Hi everybody, I'm Ron of Ron's Trains and Things, and on this Feature Friday segment, I'm going to talk to you about a cool tool that I recently purchased and I think you are really going to want. If you've ever done much kit bashing or scratch building or even building of kits made of styrene, then you have probably used some solvent cement to glue some of those joints together. Now, with most solvent cements, they come with a brush inside that you can use to apply them, but often the brush is just too big, especially if you're working in smaller scales. It puts on too much solvent cement, and it often can mar the surface of an otherwise fine model. Well, today I'm going to encourage you to pull those brushes right out of those bottles of solvent cement because I'm going to show you an applicator made specifically for applying solvent cement that puts down a fine bead of glue and allows you to protect the surface of your model and make beautiful joints in your corners and leave a fantastic model for you to enjoy. And so let's take a look at the FlexiFile Touch and Flow applicator today on this cool tool segment. You can buy the Touch and Flow applicator in two ways. You can buy the applicator alone in a tube like this one here, or you can buy the entire Touch and Flow system as I did. It comes with this squeeze bottle to help with loading the Touch and Flow applicator, as well as a bottle of FlexiFile's solvent cement, which is not unlike 10X7R or Ambroid Pro Weld. When you open the Touch and Flow applicator system kit, inside the tube is this little yellow sheet of paper which has instructions for loading and using the Touch and Flow applicator. Removing the red stopper from the end of the tube, you can take the Touch and Flow applicator out of the tube, and you see that what you have essentially is a hollow glass tube with a blunt needle on one end. The Touch and Flow applicator works using capillary action to pull solvent cement from inside the tube into your joint. The squeeze bottle is an applicator in itself with this large needle, but to use it to fill the Touch and Flow applicator, you want to unscrew this needle and remove it. Then, opening your bottle of solvent cement, you put the Touch and Flow applicator inside the bottle and attach the squeeze bottle onto the open end of the Touch and Flow applicator glass tube. Then squeezing the Touch and Flow squeeze bottle to push the air out of the tube, you then allow the vacuum inside the bottle to pull solvent cement up into the applicator itself. You do not want to pull solvent cement all the way into the squeeze bottle, just into the tube. Here are a couple of pieces of scrap styrene that I'll use to show you how the Touch and Flow applicator work. Holding them together just like I would a couple of walls on a corner of a kit. You take the loaded Touch and Flow applicator, holding it horizontally, and then just draw the needle along the joint. And it puts a very nice fine bead of solvent cement right along the joint without getting too much onto the surface of the model to mar the surface of the model. Whenever possible, I like to put solvent on both sides of a joint to make a nice strong joint. As you run the needle along the joint, capillary action pulls the solvent cement out of the tube, through the needle, and into the joint, causing the two pieces of styrene to literally melt and weld together to make a good strong joint. When you're finished with your Touch and Flow applicator, you unload it in much the same way as you loaded it, sticking it back into your bottle of solvent cement, putting your squeeze bottle back on the end, and then allowing the air in it to force the liquid out of your Touch and Flow applicator. The manufacturer recommends then running the needle along a paper towel just to make sure that all of the solvent and any bits of dissolved plastic that are in the needle are drawn out to keep from plugging the needle and causing a problem in the future. And then you can store your touch and flow applicator in the same tube that it came in. Now let me show you where you can find more information and where you can purchase a touch and flow applicator for yourself. To get some information about the touch and flow applicator or the touch and flow system, you can go to the manufacturer's website. The manufacturer is called FlexiFile, and that website is flex-i-file.com. I'll provide a link to this and all of these websites in the description down below, so you can find them there at the end of this video. But at the FlexiFile website, you see all kinds of information here about the touch and flow system, how it works, instructions for how to load it and how to use it, as well as information about their other products. FlexiFile also has a YouTube channel where they have a handful of videos mostly about the touch and flow system, and I will link this in the description, and I also am going to link one of these videos about the touch and flow system in a card at the end of this video that you can go to, and it will show you some information just about how the touch and flow system works from their perspective. So that's where you can get some information. Now, going back to the manufacturer's website, if you scroll to the bottom of that page, you can see you can buy the touch and flow system like I have for $19.99 directly from the manufacturer. Now, as I'm going to show you in a few moments, there are several other retailers that carry it, and honestly you can get it for less money than that at some of these other retailers. So make a note of that. Now, there are several hobby retailers that carry the touch and flow system. I'm going to show you just two of the very popular ones, but you can look around and probably get it from whatever your favorite retailer is. They may carry it. Micromark, of course, is a great place to get modeling tools, and if you go to Micromark and type in their search line touch-in-flow, you're going to get two results. The first result is the touch and flow applicator alone, and you can order that from Micromark for $8.95 and get just the applicator. If you'd like to load it using an ear syringe or using the method that they mentioned of allowing capillary action to draw it up into the applicator, you can do it that way. I'm going to type touch in flow again here, and as you see, the second result here is a combination pack that includes a touch and flow applicator and 2 bottles of Micromark's same stuff, which is a solvent cement. And I've used Micromark same stuff. In fact, I have a bottle of it I'm using right now. It's good solvent cement. There's not a thing wrong with it. And here for $16.95 you can get 2 bottles of that cement and the touch and flow applicator. Again, you'll have to load it using either capillary action or some other type of an ear syringe or something along those lines. But that's one place that you can get it, and that's a pretty good savings, $16.95 to get that much plastic cement. Also, Walters carries the touch and flow applicator, and again, if you go to their search line and type touch and flow in, and I'm going to hit return here to call that page up. And here you will see that you have a few options. Again, you can get just the touch and flow applicator, actually for a little less here, $6.99 for just the applicator. If you'd like to buy the applicator and the squeeze bottle to load it with, you can buy the squeeze bottle separately for $16.99. Or here you can buy the whole system with the applicator, the squeeze bottle, and a bottle of FlexiFile's plastic weld, their solvent cement, and you can order that system for $16.99 at Walters. This is where I ordered mine, and I'm going to be honest, I'm really glad that I ordered the system. The squeeze bottle works perfectly for loading the applicator, and I haven't tried their weld yet, but I have no reason to believe that their solvent cement won't be as good as any of the others. And if I try it and find out that I'm not happy with it, I will come back in another video and tell you. But at this point, I have no reason to think that it won't be just as good as any other solvent cement that I've used. And so that's some places that you can get the Touch and Flow applicator or the Touch and Flow system. Again, if you have a favorite online retailer, search for it there. Many of them may carry this tool. I have wanted one of these for a while. I became aware of it about a year ago, and I just ordered mine recently. But I am very, very happy with the way it works. Again, it saves a lot of mess. It makes it much easier to use solvent cement without the risk of marring your surface by getting solvent cement where you don't want it, or having wide streaks of solvent cement along your joints. You should give it a try, and I hope that you do. I think that you'll be really, really glad that you invested in this tool. If you do much model building, whether it's building kits or scratch building or kit bashing, this is a great tool to have in your toolbox. I hope you give the Touch and Flow applicator a try. I think you'll be amazed at the improved results you get next time you use solvent cement on your favorite kit or scratch-built project. Be sure and give it a try. You're going to want to join us next Tuesday for my next modeling segment, where I will be bringing you a layout tour of the Texas, Colorado, and Western. Many of you have been asking for a tour of my layout, and next Tuesday you're going to get it. If you'd like to learn more about my layout in advance, you can check the description down below this video, where you will find a link to the Facebook page that's dedicated to my model railroad, and there you can see how I've built this layout from the ground up. So be sure and check that out, and come back Tuesday and see a full tour of the layout as it is today. If you've enjoyed this episode of Ron's Trains and Things, give it a thumbs up down below. Be sure and subscribe. And please leave a comment or a question at the bottom of the page. I love to hear from you. I love to respond to your comments. I love to answer your questions. I'd especially like for you to tell me if there's a particular tool that you find indispensable to model railroading that maybe I could talk a little bit about and share with other people. Or maybe a challenge that you have in your modeling that I can help you with in a future episode. Be sure and leave those comments, and I will always read them and I will always respond. So I hope that you'll share those with me. Finally, again, in that description below, you can find some information about how you can support Ron's Trains and Things if you would like to, so I hope you'll check that out as well. Well, that's all I have for today on Ron's Trains and Things, but be sure and check out for that layout tour next Tuesday and for another Feature Friday segment next Friday, and I look forward to seeing you then.